Well, hey guys, happy Black Friday. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I tried to do a live stream last night, and I kid you not, I was like half asleep. And I was thinking about posting that live stream, but it almost sounded like I was drunk. I didn't want you guys to think that I had too much alcohol yesterday, because I didn't even drink at all. But it certainly sounded like I was drunk. I was that tired. So I just decided to delete that live stream, pretended like it never happened, and I went to bed. Yesterday I drove up to Wisconsin. I visited family up there for Thanksgiving, and it was about an hour 20 drive. It's not like the worst drive I've done. I've done a lot longer, but I don't know. Just I think it might be the fact that it gets dark earlier. I don't know. But and also the turkey. I mean, that makes you tired too. So anyway, today we're going to be doing sort of a special edition Black Friday video where we talk about the weather for today. For all you shoppers out there that are trying to snag those damn good deals, we're going to be talking about a lot of you in the lower 48. We have this big system out towards the central plains here and back towards the Rockies we're going to talk about, producing some travel disruptions for folks trying to get back home from the Thanksgiving travel season. And then back towards the southeast, we have quite a bit of rainfall making its way into portions of the panhandle of Florida back towards the Carolinas. We're going to get to all of that during today's video. And if you do enjoy today's video, be sure to like and subscribe, share with family and friends. I appreciate all of you that have subscribed thus far. We've gotten quite a few subscribers here just in the last week, so thank you guys so much for the support. And let's get right into today's video. Okay, so as I mentioned, today is a special edition Black Friday video. And in the theme of Black Friday, I decided to start today's video very unconventional from what this channel typically does. And that is looking at the Black Friday deals on Target. This is not sponsored, by the way, but I wanted to show this to you guys and give you sort of my reaction on it, because I'll be honest, I was looking through, the last couple of years, the Black Friday deals we had. I feel like they were kind of crap. But this time around, I mean, the first thing that pulls up on Target even, right, is Beats Studio Pro Bluetooth. This is like $350. It's $170. Okay, that's actually a good deal. There's a lot of stuff that's on sale this year. And, at first when I was going to make this video, I was actually going to complain about the fact that there's a lack of deals in today's Black Friday shopping era. But maybe I was just looking at the COVID era. But coming out of it, at least this year, there's a lot of awesome deals out there. Like the Beats Studios are awesome headset. I mean, I have the second tier version of that. I've had no issues with the Beats. I love them. The Studios I've had before. Even some of the consoles were on here. iPad 10-inch. 229 at 379. I mean, these are pretty good. And also the PS5, you can bundle the game with it. They're not going to dock off the price for the PS5 because you know what? No. You need to pay full price for that. But at least you can bundle a game with it. And if you saw the Barbie movie and you loved it, you get yourself a nice little Barbie dream house for $68. Used to be $115. I probably would have never bought this thing for $115, even if I had kids. But hey, a lot of really sweet deals. By the way, I'm not doxing myself. I don't actually live in Elgin, or I do. I don't know. I'll let you guys figure that out. But anyway, these are all some pretty good deals out there this year. You know what? Black Friday, kudos to you. Like all these retailers that are selling stuff here this year are actually stepping up to the plate. I mean, it feels like every single year prior to this, all it was just flat screen 4K TVs that are $300 off because in 10 years those TVs will be irrelevant. This year, they're docking off prices on a lot of good, high quality stuff. Now the pajamas, probably not. But gosh, what else they got? And you know what's funny? I can't even go any farther than that because they keep crashing the page. All of the Karens and Beckys that are flooding this page to get their air fryer, their headphones, the giant skulls, right? I mean, again, amazing deals. It makes sense as to why when I go to try to buy this tablet, I can't even buy the damn thing because it's already crashed. So anyway, if you're going to be shopping Black Friday deals today, guys, just know that there's a lot of people out there that are trying to get in on these sweet deals. I like these deals and take full advantage of it because I sure will. Although I'll probably wait for Cyber Monday, but that's besides the point. And speaking of Black Friday, we are the channel Prestige Weather, and I haven't really plugged this at all, but I decided to today in the sake of Black Friday because we also are running a deal today. So Prestige Weather is a weather consulting company that provides direct-to-consumer support for individuals, but then we also do business-to-business for commercial. So if you know anybody that's a snow removal company, if you yourself are a snow removal company, we actually provide catered weather consulting for your business. Now, why is that different than, say, accessing weather content on other mediums like the Weather Service or AccuWeather or Weather Channel? The difference is it's not that they are a bad service. As a matter of fact, we're a Weather Ready ambassador for NOAA. It's that we do specialized services hyper-focused to your sites. So if we're talking snow removal, for example, and we'll get to the direct-to-consumer in a second, but if we're talking business, right, usually when you see forecasts, they're a little bit more on the broader scale, but these folks have individual sites that you got to worry about. We actually provide hyper-focused forecasts for your sites that you're working on in your local area. But not just that, you also can get a hold of us, right? We can talk one-on-one leading up to a major snow event and really break down what's happening here. You can't not get that anywhere else. You can't do that through the Weather Service. You cannot do that through, just a TV station, right? Because they're trying to service everybody. What we do is essentially we're another tool to your tool belt. You can access all this information on your own, but why wouldn't you want to have somebody that knows sort of what they're looking at, what the models are showing, and that's where we come in. So Prestige Weather is a weather consulting company, and on the direct-to-consumer side, same thing. We give you a call once a week in your local area and talk about weather for your town, and we can go as long as an hour with you, and that only starts at $5 a month. That being said, we are running a Black Friday deal today to where if you sign up for the standard package, right, you'll see a promo code. So we'll go ahead and check this out. Let's pretend we're buying the standard package at $5 a month. This is just for individuals, right? So if you're an individual, not a business, you're getting a weekly consultation once a week to meet with me, talk half hour to an hour exclusively about your area. You also get daily and weekly forecast discussions, okay? And let's see here. Here we go. So right here, you get daily discussions that I put out every single day relating to any sort of weather topic that's going on in the country. We give weekly discussions for each individual region, and we really dive deep into this. And not just that, but we also provide exclusive video content, stuff that you cannot see here on this YouTube channel that is posted to our members exclusively. And we have a whole library of it that goes all the way back for the last few months. If you want to watch a video about weather models and how to forecast that, or learning about SKUTs, or really just seeing all these different discussion points in meteorology, that's only going out to those that are subscribed to our weather consulting company, Prestige Weather, or our platform, Prestige Weather. Now, today we are running a promotion to where you do not have to pay $5 for your first month. If you just use promo code DIRECT, you will only have to pay $1 for your first month, right? So it'll be $1 for your first month, and then it resorts back to $5 for the rest of your subscription, so long as you stay subscribed. But if you use discount code DIRECT at checkout, you will only have to purchase it for $1 today. This promotion is going to run from now, Black Friday, up until next Friday. So you have 1 week to take advantage of this deal. Again, promo code DIRECT, hit apply, and then you're only paying $1 for your first month subscription to Prestige Weather. It's a really great deal. A lot of us, not a lot of us, but a lot of the customers that have used this platform, they really do enjoy the hell out of it. Not only that, but I find that a lot of the folks that have signed up actually end up, doing the one-on-one consults and keep doing them over and over and over again. Just because they get, that hyper-focused forecast like we talked about, and we really get to just have more of a discussion. It's not me talking at you. It's us really, dissecting what's going on in your area and what the trends are going forward. So it's a really sweet deal. Hey, if you have any questions about that, I threw a lot your way, right? We talked about Black Friday for Target, and we're also talking about Black Friday for Prestige Weather. But if you have any questions about the promotion we are running, post those in the comments below. I'd be happy to get to those. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, this is the weather component of the video is what I'm trying to say. we did get started with the video before, but that was my little Black Friday diatribe. So let's actually dive into sort of what we're seeing on the weather space right now, and we'll go back to our satellite and take a look here at our current jet pattern. This is the 500 millibar wrap analysis. All this green you see, this is our infrared satellite, so you're seeing a lot of stratiform precipitation out towards the Rockies. And a lot of this at higher elevations, even back towards North Platte, Nebraska, is snow that we're seeing. And we've seen a lot of it as this shortwave trough continues to dig towards the southeast. So we're going to see that snow in Wyoming continue here over the next several hours before we then see it taper off by this evening. This system will then move south, as I mentioned, and then a lot of that snowfall is going to continue to move even more south into places like Denver, Colorado Springs, some of those resorts that are essentially right hugging up against central Colorado. We also have a little bit of a cutoff shortwave feature out towards the south and east. We mentioned this at the top of the conversation. We do have some showers and even some thunderstorms out towards the north central portions of Florida and then just off the Gulf. So it's going to be a pretty rainy day for you guys out here in Florida. And for the rest of the country, I mean, we do have some cloud cover out towards the northeast New England. A lot of that because we got this backed flow, this back northwesterly wind that's bringing in some of that colder air. You guys are waking up this morning likely to some lows in the 20s, right? And we're seeing that because that polar jet, these red lines you see here, this is our jet stream is what it's demarcating. Really strong westerly to northwesterly flow aloft, and that's bringing some of those colder temperatures. And when that air is infected over the lake, you actually tend to get cloud cover, right? That's not snowfall. It's mostly just cloud cover that's being infected as far south and east as Connecticut, upstate New York, and even Massachusetts. We do have some shower activity out towards the upper Great Lakes. We are seeing some snowfall in this area, but for the most part, I guess for the rest of the country, remaining rather dry, especially as you get out towards the West Coast and California, Washington, Oregon. You guys are pretty quiet today. Overall, a pretty nice day for you guys, but for the rest of the country, especially out here in the Central Rockies, which we'll talk about here in a second, we're certainly seeing a lot of travel disruptions, especially for folks that are going to be driving along the I-80 and the I-90 corridor out there in Wyoming, certainly dealing with a lot of headache as you try to get home during the holiday season. Let's head on over to Weather Bell to take a look at some of our trends here. And again, this video will be rather brief. I just want to go over a couple of trends we're seeing going forward into the rest of the week, as well as early next week. So we'll start first here with the NAM and just show you what the current guidance is on that particular system. I think it's going to highlight it really well here. So we'll actually zoom in just a little bit more if we can. We'll go central. There we go. And so as you can see, we got a lot of snowfall activity up in our higher elevations, looking here at the NAM 3K. That's going to continue, as I mentioned, over the next several hours. And as we go through, and you know what, let's switch back to 6 so I can get a longer range here. As we go through tonight and into tomorrow morning, we see that snow advance eastward past North Platte, Nebraska, and we actually get a little bit of a lee side trough to develop, or a lee side low pressure system. And you're actually going to see that here in just a moment. Watch what happens when we get to Saturday morning. Then there comes that lee side low ejecting east. Now we're talking about snow all the way into Chicago, into Milwaukee, through Kansas City, even, just borderline St. Louis by the time we get to Sunday morning. And by the way, some of this could be accumulating, right? We do have some colder soil temperatures as we get towards, say, southern Wisconsin and central Wisconsin, so I expect most of that to accumulate here. But we are seeing guidance of this lee side low ejecting north and east into northern Illinois, into the upper Great Lakes, and eventually back into Wisconsin and up towards to the east of Minneapolis. Not expecting to see a lot of snowfall, at least as of right now. If we take a look here at our snowfall totals, and for the most part, right, we see more of that really transpiring around Kansas, around Nebraska. Of course, a lot of our snowfall totals are going to be highest in those higher elevations of Colorado that are going to see that continuous upper level divergence. But as that system chugs along and moves to the north and east, we're really only talking about measurements at the moment of about 1 to maybe at most 2 inches of snowfall. Keep in mind, though, one thing. This snowfall, not all of it is going to stick, right? So even if we go along the range of, say, 1 to 2 inches of snowfall, this isn't all going to accumulate. We are going to see some minor accumulations, and that can be a problem, right? Because we're going to have a lot of people traveling here in this, part of the country, the Midwest, even going into this weekend. This is the holiday, travel season right now as it kicks off. So, bear in mind, we might not see a winter weather advisory or winter storm warning based on this criteria as it is today. Whether or not one is issued, you need to be mindful that there is going to be snowfall, and it is going to have some slick spots along the roadways. So you want to be extra cautious, especially for Sunday, for you folks in Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, as well as Illinois and Wisconsin. If we look ahead to the rest of the week, and by the way, before I do that, let's look at the NBM perspective and see what totals they have. So this is the numerical blend of models. I've mentioned this model before. I actually like it quite a bit because what it does is, NOAA uses the NBM a lot, especially the WFOs, the forecast offices. What's really cool about it is it sort of takes a average of all the different models under the sun. The ARRR, the NAM, the GFS, the Euro, basically as many as you can think of, all the CAM models, and it basically comes up with just one average. There are disadvantages to the NBM. So if you're talking about like a major event, right, it might be underdoing the major event itself or a major snowstorm. It may tend to lean more towards a conservative, or in some cases it might actually go a little bit more aggressive, right? So it does ebb and flow because of that average. But in a case like this system, this lee side low that kind of moves to the northeast and impacts the lower Great Lakes and in the Midwest and the Central Plains, it tends to resolve the spread pretty well. If you look at the totals, you got 0.7, 0.8, 1, and if you think about it, that still sits within, sort of within range of the 1 to 2. So right now, I would say, for that lee side low, I would expect it as it moves northeast to sort of lose that momentum, right? It's not getting that elevational lift. It's moving just kind of over the lower Great Lakes and more of that valley and overall flat topography. So I'm not expecting to see a lot of snowfall out of this. This is not going to be a major snowstorm by any stretch of the imagination. But what it will do is it's one of those pesky systems where you can get a burst of snow to fall, and it can reduce your visibility, and you can get those slick spots on the road, and you got a lot of people on the road. It can make for some pretty treacherous travel. You want to be mindful of that as we get into Sunday. We'll continue to monitor that here, and of course, I can't forget about our friends in Kansas. It's showing about 4 to 5 inches of snowfall. If I show you real quick the soil temperatures, because I am curious, I do want to deviate one more time here and show you what the ground temperatures look like. So if we go here to the GFS, and it's going to show you soil technically, so it's going to be more so soil temperature in Fahrenheit. But you got about 30, 32, 30. Yeah, as a matter of fact, hey, if you're in northwestern Kansas, a lot of that is going to accumulate. So expect to see some accumulations in the roadways as we get towards, say, like central Kansas and then even towards the Kansas City metro. Some of that will accumulate, some of it won't. But still, same conversation applies for the Midwest out here towards Kansas. Still going to lead for some treacherous travel. Don't underestimate this by any means. And finally, as promised, let's look at the GFS ensemble and show you sort of the countrywide view of our, sort of temperature trends going into next week. So we'll go here, we'll look at our temperatures, not probability. I just want 5-day anomaly. There we go. And so if we're looking here over the next 5 days, the GFS ensemble is showing some below average temperatures for a large swath of the country. A lot of that having to do with our polar jet that's ejecting down into the northeast. And then you also have this trough, as we drew, that's digging down, right? And that's bringing some colder air behind it. And so we would expect to see those colder temperatures out in the Rockies and even in the Central Plains, especially where we're seeing that snowfall and that solid snowpack, leading to more of those colder temperatures locally. As we go beyond, and even towards next week, I would say, right, look at that. So now, this is going out, if we were to take next week, the middle of next week, from, say, Wednesday all the way into, say, early 2 weeks from now, we start to see that shift once again. We had those colder temperatures, and now we're fluctuating back to above average temperatures for the Midwest, below average temperatures for the West Coast, and below average temperatures for the Northeast and New England. This is what we call a meridional pattern, right? Meridional pattern means we get this constant ebb and flow, trough, ridge, trough, ridge, and that leads to frequent temperature fluctuations. Expect for this to happen over the next few weeks. I know we don't typically go far out with our forecast, but we have seen this trend over the last several weeks of just, if you're not in a trough, ridge, trough pattern, then you might be, in this case, in a ridge, trough. Or, if we're starting out this week, a trough, ridge. So, this is going to take place over the next few weeks. That's pretty common even for an El Nino, subjectively in my opinion. And it also is common even in La Nina. So I'll kind of correct myself. I mean, it's not really exclusive to one particular climate, La Nina or El Nino climate pattern. You are, especially in a transition period like November, even getting into early December, we are going to see these temp fluctuations. And so you got to be mindful that even if it's cold today, it doesn't mean it's going to be, below average tomorrow. You're probably going to see some above average temperatures at some point over this several day to a couple week period. And if we finally look here at the sort of projected snowfall, just going forward in time, I mean, this is all the way out here. But as you can see, if as we take this into Friday and next week, the main concern is going to be with that lee side low we talked about. Could see some accumulating snowfall out towards Kansas. As a matter of fact, I kind of expect it as that trough continues to dig southeast. Those accumulations will also extend into the lower Great Lakes, even for our friends in the Great Lakes themselves. So Grand Rapids, Traverse City, the UP of Michigan, back towards Erie, PA, Niagara Falls, Buffalo. Expect to see some lake effect snowfall. Why? Because this trough is going to bring back northwesterly flow, and this polar jet, especially when you advect colder air over the lakes, that is then going to create an unstable lapse rate due to that temperature difference between the warmer water and the colder air aloft. And that, with fetch, is how you get lake effect snow machine to turn on. And we're expecting that to take place as we get into next week. So we're keeping a very close eye on that. Could see a little bit of a lake effect snow machine turn on going into next week. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, share this with family and friends, and we will see you on the next weather video. Take care.